good morning. Welcome to news analysis this morning. A very beautiful Tuesday morning. It actually rained, and the rain kind of blessed the day. My name is Choma Vicchukwemeka, also known as Oma Speeded on radio, TV, and social media. I can't be alone on this program. I have with me, what do I call her like right now?
You always make me laugh like that. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to TV News Analysis. My name is Adoma. Is okay.
Adoma, how are you?
I'm fine, good. Thank you. You know what I told you about this your shirt?
What did you tell me?
After the program, we'll exchange.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure it will fit you?
Yes.
All right. How's your weekend? Today is Tuesday. You know, whenever we are in the southeast, Tuesdays are Mondays. But if you leave the southeast, you find out that Monday is a normal day. So we find ourselves asking people, how's your weekend, even on a Tuesday?
And your extended weekend.
I'm telling you.
Because Monday is an extended weekend.
It's not really fun. But what do? Do we have a choice? Like, because your life first. Life first. Even though you find out that on Mondays, it's relaxing. Okay, because around 3, 2 down, businesses are coming out. But I think by the time schools start reopening, banks reopen. But in Oka, I was meant to believe that in Oka, that schools open. Banks, some banks open on Mondays in Oka.
I don't know about banks, but I've seen a school that usually opens on Mondays.
You know, Oka is not as volatile as Onitsha. I'm not saying Onitsha is volatile, but you just know that.
But you can't
Onitsha,
compare.
Oka is more like the civil servant kind of a place, and Onitsha, because of the businesses around Onitsha, and because of the past. Remember when all these issues started? Okay, I started with Masob. From Masob, I graduated to IPOB. I remember those days when it was in the market. I was telling someone a story the other time. We were talking about 2020. You know, Sit at Home started in 2021. Yeah, October 2021. So I now remember, Sit at Home wasn't, we weren't even sitting at home as at 2020. It actually started in 2021.
2020 was that NSAS.
It was really COVID-19. After COVID, then NSAS happened in October, and we now got into 2021. Then around, I remember vividly, I was at the market that day. And some people in the market, they were, you know, those town criers in the market, they were giving out that message on Mondays, as from next week, don't come out on Mondays. And when it started, it was like a joke.
It's a joke.
Some people that defied them, they had to pay with their dear lives.
I'm telling you.
Some people's shops were looted.
It was really bloody that period.
Some people's shops were looted. It was madness. And I believe that people are now, because all those people that lost their lives, that died, they're no more, right?
Especially when I still remember those people that died during NSAS. And even people that were carrying the Nigerian flag and they died with the Nigerian flag. Everybody was saying, okay, they died for Nigeria. Where are they now? The only thing we do for them is once it's that period,
a moment silence.
Yes, we just do it for them.
So I guess when it comes to, because I just got back from Lagos, and one of the discussions we were having, we talked about insecurity in Southeast. So one of the lecturers was like, imagine the kind of money that is being lost. True, money is being lost every Monday that we sit at home. Billions of naira is being lost, right? And it is setting us back. It is setting us back in every aspect.
That is what education.
For right now, you cannot compare. Even though I don't know how children in the Southeast, I don't know how they manage to do it. Okay, right now, National Open University, they're having their exams, right? Another one will happen on Thursday. There's been rumors. You've heard the rumors for Thursday. Okay, good. So because there was an exam that is supposed to happen on Thursday, I even have an exam on Thursday. Now, there's been a circular that all the exams that will happen on Thursday in the Southeast will not happen. They were now shifted to 1st of June, which is on Saturday. So it means that by Thursday, every one of us in the Southeast will be in our houses.
You'll be sitting at home.
Because you don't want to face, in fact, your life first.
Everybody's scared.
Your life first, because it's when that you are alive that you tell the story. But we actually look forward to a time where the governors in the Southeast will come together and find a lasting solution. Because these things, this continuous sit at home is really affecting everyone. Even though as the average Nigerian, as the average person living in the Southeast, someone who stays in the Southwest and in the North does not of course, every zone in Nigeria have got their own challenges.
But you know, the funny thing is that a lot of persons will tell you that they're already enjoying this sit at home, and they pray that it doesn't, that it never ends.
Well, what do I say about someone who is enjoying it? At least the person should be aware that, you know, because of this sit at home, there's been extended, even traders. If you go to the market, you see people constantly trading, even on Sundays.
And to shock you, you'll be talking to someone in Lagos, maybe Abuja, and the person will be like, did you go to work today? You tell the person, no, today is sit at home. The person will tell you, oh, you're enjoying, you know, there is this vibe. They'll tell you there's this vibe Mondays give.
But that vibe that Monday gives comes to Tuesday.
Exactly.
And it makes it stressful. And there's a lot of pressure.
Compressing.
Now, in the Southeast, it's just Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that are official working days. And a lot of persons are under a lot of immense pressure to deliver, immense pressure to ensure that whatever it is they lost out on Monday, that they meet up with Tuesday till Friday.
Exactly, because there was this place I used to work with before. We didn't used to work on Mondays like that. And all of a sudden, and when you come to work on Tuesday, they would want you to stay. It was usually from 8 to 5. They would want you to work from 8 to 7.
You see?
For them to recover all the money,
everything. And you see, all these things, it has a way of impacting on us. Every one of us.
At a point, they were like, okay, everybody should be risking their life. On Mondays, everybody must come out. And they now made it mandatory that you must come out.
Are you serious?
Yes.
But it's just for people who live within.
No, don't. If you don't,
so people that were not living.
If you're staying at and that was the period that this sit at home was really, you know, that 2021, the heat was too much. At the point they said everybody should be coming out because they were losing money. And everybody said coming out. Yes.
Wow. Like
you know,
wow.
One thing is that some persons they will just think about the money. Forgetting
at
about
the expense of people's lives.
That's just it.
I remember the last time we talked about employers here on this platform. You know, when you are just thinking about the money, you're forgetting that you're working with human beings. It's not statistics. These are human beings. Like every statistics
at the end of the day,
see in Nigeria is a person. Every statistics you see in Nigeria is a person.
Exactly. At the end of the day, you see someone that maybe you're complaining that this staff is really reluctant towards their job, but you are the one that caused it.
And you've not done your own part as an employer.
Exactly.
Anyways, we have a lot of papers to review this morning. We have the Vanguard, we have the Guardian, we have the Punch. Which other ones do we have?
The Sun, the Daily Trust, and the Daily Post.
Okay, so we are starting off with the Guardian newspaper this morning. Tinubu mourns former anti-graft Caesar Ibrahim Lamode. That's it from that's a headline from the Guardian newspaper. Obaseki paid 70,000 naira new minimum wage to Edo workers, according to Commissioner. INEC publishes names of 16 candidates running mates for Ondo election. And still from the Guardian newspaper, I think you should continue with the newspaper you have while we wait for this. Let's start.
All right, okay. From there, we move over to the Punch newspaper. We have ICYMI, troubling dreams about Nigeria made us relocate to US. Pastor Sam Ayedemi. Still moving on, we have APC attacks Obasanjo over criticism of Tinubu's reforms. Student loan ploy to enslave Nigerian students, ASU. UI queries 2 students over fee hike protest, threatens suspension. Tinubu, AGF wants local government reforms to tackle insecurity, governors abuse. Autumn not disturbed Benue Assembly scrapped life pension aid. Still moving on, we have Tinubu go on to speak as National Assembly marks 25 years of democracy. LP sacks Edo Exco, raises 17-man caretaker committee. AGF wrong to join Lagos in LG funds youth. Sanwo-Olu. Federal government announces single-digit interest loan for media organizations. CSOs oppose bill seeking pay rise for Ocean public officers. Bayelsa poll. Silva rejects tribunal verdict, plans appeal. Still moving on, we have 391 million naira disbursed to families of 164 deceased workers last. And still moving on, we have INEC resumes voter registration in 397 Edo and Ondo centers. House Sports Ministry has fared under ENO. First anniversary, Tinubu government awards 6 trillion naira contracts for roads and others. APC demands North Central Commission over insecurity infrastructural deficit. Kaduna distributes input to 40,000 farmers. Kwara this one is 12 out of school children enrolled in Lagos, Sanwo-Olu. Plateau unveils digital platform for monitoring MDA's performance. And still moving on, we have economy must shift from consumption to production, cleric. And still moving on, we have Sokoto Haji pilgrims fault poor BTA seek government support. Nasarawa FRSC begins clamp down on fake number plates owners. And still moving on, we have church members mourn Niger pastor killed by bandits. Nollywood actor Monago for burial June 21. Bauchi residents protest water scarcity as Mohammed apologizes. And lastly, we have I will address suspension by Benin royal family. Aken Zua, and that's it for the Punch newspaper this morning.
All right, let's head straight to the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Over 2,000 people feared buried in Papua New Guinea landslide. 2030 SDGs, Lagos UN Foundation partner on Africa Social Impact Summit. Nigeria's local domain name.ng records 215,000 registrations. Labor private sector operators bicker over minimum wage demand. Naira devaluation, PENOP appeals for offshore investments of pension funds. US-based Nigerian Yomi Fapurusi to contest for US Congress. International Breweries announces increase in product prices. Did you hear that? Beer will increase their price. And people will say,
yes, now. Why would men stop drinking beer?
You just called men. It's the only men that drink beer. Hey! Okay, moving on. Edo Cuba.
Biggest fans. I didn't say anything.
Edo Cuba, more trouble for LP as 2 ESCOs emerge. A rate hike, CBN prioritizes financial sector over real sector, according to MAN. Naira down to 1,525 naira per dollar in parallel market. 1 year on, words above action by the Kukupita side. Okwama displaced residents finally report to IDP's camp. How to make POS registration a win-win for Nigeria's financial future. Dust over failed national anthems. Banditry. Should I say excuse my laughter? You know, I was watching one of the their deliberations, and one of the reps stood up and said, this new national anthem, how is it going to solve the problems of Nigerians?
My goodness, I don't know. Because
all of a sudden,
a lot of problems are facing Nigeria.
All of a sudden, our attention is on national anthem.
And some persons cannot even recite the recent one.
The old
we are we're talking about
You still remember I'm not saying you. Some but how is it going to put food on the table?
I don't know.
I mean, we celebrated Children's Day yesterday. Over 133 million families are living in multi-dimensional poverty. And these families, children were not counted. Now, imagine the average poor man in Nigeria will have like 5 kids or 4 kids. Now, when you count the number of children who are in these families, it will be running in millions. When we have over 20 million out of school children, how can a national anthem, a new national anthem, how will it put food on the table of these kids? I was listening to a particular radio yesterday. They were discussing about how a young child, all these young children that hawk, they couldn't finish what they were selling. So in the night, this young boy was somewhere. He said that his mom said he shouldn't come home if he does not finish what he... So the new national anthem, how is it going to put food on the table of over 133 million Nigerians living in multi-dimensional poverty?
Even if some persons cannot even afford to eat just a square meal. They struggle to do that.
Sometimes
they struggle to do that. Even if they do, they will still. It's either the parents might just starve just for the kids to eat, and someone is somewhere thinking about national anthem. How is he going to put food on people's table? Okay, we just know how to focus our minds on things that are irrelevant.
Honestly, in fact, you just captured it. You just captured it. All right, moving things along. Banditry, security situation in Kaduna/Namuda, Burning Federal Constituency. I think that's it. 2024 Children's Day. IPGI urges Nigerians to build children's capacity for peace. Still from the Vanguard newspaper, Shippers Council partners NPA to automate port processes. Children's Day, Enugu NGO advocates children empowerment. PDP campaign council hails Obaseki's productivity ahead of poll. INEC begins CVR despite call for cancellation. And finally, from the Vanguard newspaper, FG plans single-digit loan for media houses. Okay, let's move quickly to Guardian newspaper so that we get through Guardian while Adoma prepares for the next paper that she'll be sharing with us. All right, Insecurity knocks kudos for Tinubu as government marks first anniversary. Federal government to improve LG system, one state electoral body scrapped. That, remember, we are on Guardian right now. Court restraints by Yero, others from parading themselves as MS. Shetima rallies global partnership to end internal displacement. FG suspends fraudulent Nigerian air indefinitely. Children's Day, Tinubu governors pledge commitment to Nigerian child. Children's Day, 39.2% of Nigerian kids in child labor. AGF orders differ over National Assembly legislation on national anthem. Fresh towers collapse, truncates power restoration to north amid high tariff. Still from the Guardian this morning, bandits still occupying over 151 communities in Plateau. APC chief slams Tinubu for allegedly meddling in Kano Emirate tussle. Tribunal okays Diri's election. Silva head to appeal. Collapse Mushin Mosque. 6 persons discharged, 3 still in hospital. Koro killing. Court adjourns for PDP advice as group seeks justice. Ondo Rivers flag off vaccination of girls against cervical cancer and HPV. Children's Day, Sanwo-Olu reassures children of a better future. FG explains low-interest finance proposal for media houses. 12 suspected nabbed over students' death at Ajayi Crowther University. Avoid prohibited substances, Kano governor cautions Hajj pilgrims. Tribunal affirms Ododo as a Kogi governor. Displacement of over 2.3 million IDPs in Northeast, most complex, says IOM. That's it from the Guardian newspaper. Adam, do we still have another paper this morning?
Yeah, we have Ason newspaper. We have opposition mounts against opposed national anthem. LG autonomy. Tinubu pledges to strengthen local governments. Still moving on, we have Mba charges new traditional rulers council on community security. Children's Day, Tinubu promises safe, secure learning environment. And still moving on, we have Obi urges investment in quality education, healthcare. Still moving on, we have gubernatorial polls. Diri Ododo win against tribunals. Defected elected officials should lose seats. IPAC. Edo court dismisses Shaibu's suits against Igodalo's emergency. And still moving on, we have Tinubu should fire 70% of his cabinet. Gabam, SDP national chairman. My assessment of Tinubu's 1 year in office, Ajero NLC president. How Cross River Speaker presided over his own fall. And still moving on, we have Tinubu at 1. Agri sector on ventilators needs urgent help. Stakeholders. 620 Nasarawa farmers benefit from $250,000 at ACR SAL loan. And still moving on, we have Transcorp Group posts 197 billion naira revenue. And still moving on, we have opposition mounts against proposed national anthem. LG autonomy, Tinubu pledges to strengthens LGs. And lastly, we have Mba charges new traditional rulers council on community security. That's it for the Sun newspaper this morning.
Okay, the Daily Post newspaper, 1 year in office, chaotic policy implementation puts Nigerians in economic woes. NAS moved to return old national anthem, divides Nigerians. I'm still smiling about this. Electricity in Nigeria, darkness persists in northeast as vandals destroy TCN towers. Court fixes May 29 for trial of Miyetti Allah leader Bodejo. Still from Daily Post newspaper this morning, Governor Eno renames 21-story Dakada Tower after Udom Emmanuel. There are 2 types of towels embarrassing Nigeria at airports, according to Keyamo. Why toilet chillers are in bad condition at international airports, Keyamo. Lamode, he gave us hope. ICPC reacts to death of EFCC ex-chairman. And every child deserves access to education, very important. Labour Party sacks Edo Escos, inaugurates caretaker committee. Political thugs clash with anti-Abure protesters at LP National Secretariat. That's it from Daily Post newspaper. Do we have another paper?
Yeah, we have Daily Trust newspaper.
Okay,
this morning we have NSIB investigates Abuja Kaduna train derailments. And still moving on, we have Senate asked Tinubu to submit amendment bill on BPP Act. Haji 2024, Foundation seeks more help for intending pilgrims. Shetima rallies global support to end internal displacement in Nigeria. Court orders police to evict Bayero from Mini Palace. Still moving on, we have reinstatement of Emir Sanusi done in Kano's best interest government. Still moving on, we have military bows to pressure reopens Banex Plaza. Benue Assembly repeals life pension law for ex-governors' deputies. And we still have some more. Yeah. Okay. Senate asked Tinubu to submit amendment bill on BPP Act. I think that's it for the Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
All right, and that's it for the newspaper's headlines this morning. Remember, for the hard copies, get these copies from the vendors nearest to you. For the soft copies, kindly keep going online, keep refreshing and updating these newspapers because they keep updating themselves. The management of the University of Ibadan, Oyo State, has queried two students over their involvement in a recent fee hike protest on the campus. You know, my goodness. I'm speechless, but I'm not speechless. So I'm trying to bring out the right words. I'm trying to bring out the right words, okay?
Okay.
You hike the fees. It is your, I mean, every organization has got their rules and regulation. Every organization, they have their modus operandi, they have their running cost, they need to buy diesel, they need to buy fuel, they need to do a lot of things, they need to pay school and pay lecturers, they need to do all those things. And because of the inflation, they need to increase the school fees. Because even if you go to the market, what you bought this week is not what you're going to buy next week. You know, the dollar goes up and it comes down, inflation is here and there. Fine and good.
Yeah,
I'm coming.
Okay.
Then you increase the school fees, okay? And students are protesting. Like you're literally taking over their right. It is their right, one of the fundamental human rights of every person on earth is the right, the freedom of expression. And when you're expressing yourself, you express yourself in the most humane manner, right? They protested, like they protested the hike in school fees. It's not as if they are protesting with gun. They were just carrying placards. Probably because they showed those placards where you were having your meeting and you felt they shouldn't have shown those placards. But they've not said anything. They've not disrupted what you're doing. They only carried a placard to express their grievance over the fact that you increased school fees. You don't know how it is with them, how it is with their families, how they've been coping to even pay the school fees. The former school fees they are paying, and you are increasing another school fees. And you are telling them not to talk. Now, they expressed themselves and you're querying them to the extent of, if they don't answer the query very well, that they are going to be suspended from the school. Honestly, I feel that is a step way too far. A step way too far for the school, because you don't hike school fees and not expect students not to talk. Like you in your words, you always say you're beating someone and you're closing that person's mouth. You're shutting that person's mouth not to talk. No, that's wrong. That's unacceptable. All right? The students, they have the right to express themselves. Once they've not done it in a violent way, you know, once they've not done it in a violent way, they've not been violent about it.
They didn't kill anybody.
They did not use gun. They were just using a placard.
Just placards.
And you're querying them to the extent of wanting to suspend them. Dama, you want to say something?
You know, this thing is just like when you ask me to pay for something and I'll tell you that I can't afford it. Maybe you're forcing me to do something and I'm telling you that I can't afford it. You're threatening me because you feel you have the right and power.
The power.
You're threatening me because you feel it, and it's just as if you want me to go against my wish and what I can do. And this thing is that, okay, according to the reports, they say that they disrupted
the inauguration of Student Union Administration.
Exactly.
Student Union, and are they not supposed to be fighting for, you know, there's something I learned recently, very powerful. You know, when you don't know what you can do, abuse is imminent. Now, for students who are part of Student Union, the reason why you are in the Student Union is to, no, I don't want to use the word fight, is to liaise between the student and the school authority. Student Union government should be in between. If the students, they have any grievances, they should come to you. And you should be able to take it back to the school authorities. That is why you're there. You're not there for your own personal and selfish reasons.
You know, some of them, they are there for their own personal and selfish reasons. And you know, this whole thing, I don't know why it is a very wrong thing for someone to, you know, to protest. Because this is something, in fact, generally, this is what we are suffering from in Nigeria. Just like, okay, when people were protesting about, just like the way NLC, they've been talking about when they talked about the the removal of fuel subsidy, everybody was just mad. The whole country was just mad, and it's just like that. And someone will just come out from nowhere and start threatening you that if you do this, is against it. Even some persons that came out that period and said that they were already paid for them to protest because of that. But the thing is that why would you even threaten a student? This person is trying to tell you that this thing you increase is too much. I can't afford it. You should just be to know how to make things easier for everybody, and the least you can do is to come up with a threat. You're threatening me because you want to suspend me. I don't know. In this country, you said freedom of speech. I don't think we really have it in Nigeria.
Oh, well, there's no freedom of speech
because once you speak,
because there are consequences.
Exactly.
There are consequences.
Once you speak, someone is somewhere
if you
trying
think
to.
There's freedom of speech. Speak now, then you see the consequences.
That is it. This is something that we're supposed to have in this country, but in this country we lack it. We lack it a lot. It's just that someone is complaining somewhere that I can't afford this. I can't pay it, and in fact, what I'm paying for, how I've been paying for it, I'm struggling to pay for it. And all of a sudden you increased it, and I'm trying to tell you that through a peaceful protest, and you're there you're threatening me with suspension.
I'm wondering this because they carried this placard, because they didn't tell us what was written in the placard. They said what was written in they carried placards with scandalous inscriptions against school fee increments. That placard they carried was during the swearing in. We've said it. It wasn't a violent thing. Like, it wasn't violent, right?
Okay, degree not debt, fees must fall.
It wasn't violent.
Exactly.
They were just expressing themselves. You know, a lot of schools should go back and really, really think of how to do things differently, because we need to help the society where we are.
Okay, let's talk about their parents. Maybe these people, their parents have already budgeted how much they're going to pay for. They've already brought out the school fees for each session, and all of a sudden they are being told that mommy, daddy, our school fees increased, and someone that has already done his or her budget for the year, and you're just telling them, how do you want them to feel? Like, when people are doing some things, they should actually think before making some decisions, because we are actually human beings. These students you're threatening with suspension, they have parents that are paying their school fees, and some of them are paying these school fees by themselves.
Exactly. Adoma, and you just made another point, a striking point. Before I slept last night, I was on social media. I stumbled upon this particular young man who defamed, with social media comes power. With media gives you power. But when people don't understand the kind of power they have through the media, they abuse the power. Social media, for example, Facebook has over 3 billion followers, 3 billion users each month as of January 2024. 3 billion. All over the world, we are over 8 billion. Imagine almost 3/4 of the world. Almost, okay, if you share the world into 3 parts, one part is almost on Facebook. Now, this young man defamed e-money over junior. You must have seen that story. Now, some major TV houses were interviewing him. Do you know what he said that really struck a chord with me? He said he did that in order to trend, that he wanted to grow his page, his Facebook page, that he wanted to trend, to grow his Facebook page so that he will make money and he will monetize. Frustration. Even though it is never a reason to defame anybody, to defame anybody's character. Never any reason, right? But he said he did it to trend, to make money. Now, imagine a situation, see the kind of society where we are in right now. We have the highest rise in Yahoo. The highest rise. There's a hotel within this estate, right? When that hotel came out initially, there were no girls standing outside of that hotel. But recently, someone just told me, you will know the place where I'm talking about.
I know the place.
Someone just told me that they passed through that hotel and they saw young girls standing in front. Everyone knows when you see a young girl standing in front of a hotel, they are looking for customers. These young girls, if you give them another opportunity, they will not be there.
Exactly.
Now, a lot of schools, school organizations, they should do things differently. And again, this calls for people who have more money, right? There are people who can actually subsidize these education, private sectors. It's time to come in, give scholarships to people who can't afford these things. And school organizations, school authorities, please, when a student protests, I mean, they've not turned violent. Allow them.
They didn't
to
kill
speak
anybody.
their mind.
They're just trying to speak.
Come on.
Because
That's
everybody
more
should
like,
have that freedom.
That's more like emasculating them because you have the power. And that's not right. That's not right. We should be careful of the things we do. Okay, Adoma, the dollar has, the naira has been rising and falling, rising and falling. Okay, the naira appreciated to 1,339 naira 0.33 per dollar at the close of trading on the official window on Monday, yesterday, gaining 9.68% over Friday's 1,482. Now, this Punch reporting this, I think I saw something different on Vanguard. Where is it, Vanguard or Guardian, that we took this morning, where it reported that naira is about over 1,500 naira. Is that not what I saw? I think I took it in one of the papers. But the thing is this, it's very important that like, okay, at the black market, the naira traded 1,520 naira, indicating a 1.32% depreciation from 1,500 exchanged at the weekend on Friday. Wow. You know, all this, you know, when you talk in all these economic terms, the average man on the street,
they don't understand it.
You're talking your own.
Yeah, just
you're talking your own. What they know is that things are expensive in the market. Adoma, have you bought yam recently?
Have you bought a bucket of tomato recently? Have you bought Gary recently?
I went on Sunday. Sunday, 2 days ago, I went to price the yellow Gary. The woman said, this is a yellow Gary. The last time I checked was 2006. The woman said 3,200. I said, eh?
Where did you see that one?
You know, there's this special market. You know, on Sundays, Ose sells on Sundays. Ose market, yeah, food market. There's this special, some women from the rural area, they bring Gary to come and sell. So some of these people that sell to you and I in the daily market, they buy from them and they sell cheaper. So they are the ones, a pinter of Gary, the yellow Gary, goes for 3,200. Maybe the white Gary could be going for 3,000 naira.
What are you saying, Oma?
Yes.
I went to market on Saturday.
Ose. Is it Ose?
No, not Ose. What's that market? Along.
Adoma, so you still buy things from
not along. This should be close. This should be
close to where? Tell me close to where.
What's the name of this place? Like that Ekene Junction side.
Hey. Oh.
I'm trying to is it Ubuno?
There's a special name.
There's a special name.
It has a special name.
Yeah. I
but
bought
things are expensive there now.
I just decided to price Gary. I saw Gary there. They now told me that yellow Gary is 3.6, white Gary is 3.5.
Wow.
And I'm surprised you're saying this 3.2. Or maybe that's because it's also.
You know those markets around Hebrew fish. Is it Hebrew fish market?
No, not Hebrew fish. It's not Hebrew fish. This.
Is it that market on Ekene Junction? You know that market is still a street market.
Yeah, it's not
on Ekene Junction.
Yes,
that market is still a street market. Adoma, you still go
no,
to
no.
You still
I said
things?
I was coming out from Ochanja.
Okay.
So I just saw it. I said, let me just price.
Okay.
And when I priced, they told me 3.6 and 3.5.
You know those people, they come to say, or they come to
I was mad.
Then they go into the street and they add their own money because they will add their transport now. So it's even more expensive there.
Because what is going on? Even a painter of tomato.
The last time I went to buy yam, I was literally begging the woman a tuber of yam. In fact, the sizable tuber of yam you could see there is 1,300. 1,300, 1,500. Now, if you want to buy the big
The
one,
big one.
if you want to buy the big one, at least if the big one, a family can, I mean, if you cook it for, it can feed five, okay. So you pay 2,000 naira to 5. A tuber of yam adoma.
I can remember when we can use
5 to buy 500 naira worth of yam.
But now before you buy yam, you just be thinking about your life. If 3,000 is going to be enough.
And to think about it, today is 28, tomorrow is 29th. You know, yesterday there was this briefing on a low-key celebration of 1 year. You know, I was telling you, so
what are we celebrating?
So it's been 1 year.
What are we celebrating?
So it's been 1 year since we've been going through this. Nigerians are very resilient. My goodness.
What are we celebrating?
We are celebrating increase of fuel.
We are celebrating our frustration.
To fuel now sells 1,000 naira in some places.
1,500, Abuja, Lagos. Some persons in Abuja.
Lagos. Do you know in Lagos there are some places? Hey, my goodness, Nigeria, no level. Nigerian, even within Lagos, there are some places where you buy fuel 610 naira. These are all these,
You're joking.
These depots that buy directly from NNPC. They sell 610 naira, but you will have to queue up.
Okay.
You have to. In fact, there is a particular depot here in Onitsha where they sell, I think 600 and something naira. I passed it on Sunday, but the queue there, because they are buying direct from NNPC.
Just look at the way we're already comfortable buying fuel 600. When you talk about 600 and something, everybody will be looking at
I'm telling you, from depot, from people that get direct to
fuel that was 100 and something as of last year.
As of. You know all these things. You know, I was telling you. So it's been 1 year since all these wars started. You know, by this time last year, today is 28. By this time last year, fuel was still being sold at 190 something naira. Everything changed on 29th of May.
I can't just forget that day.
Everything changed. Immediately he made that announcement.
Fuel subsidy removed. The way everything changed, the way Nigeria turned upside down.
500 from 500 to it went up from 100 and something. 190. Okay, somewhere
we're still selling 180 something.
180 something, 190 something, 200. That day he made that announcement. 300, 400, 500, 600. It was now between 600 and 700. 700. Right now it is 800 and something. Some towns, some cities, 1,000.
And you know the funny thing that used to piss me off with this whole thing is that when the president comes out to address the country, he will say there is no other way to make the situation good. It's just the way it is now. We are going to suffer it. That we should just give him time for us to suffer and make things better for us. We've actually
you know, my challenge is that not everyone is suffering that suffering.
How do you know? Like,
yes, of course, it's just a segment of the society suffering. It's just the poorest of the poor suffering. God, it's just the average Nigerian suffering. My goodness.
You would have you gone for weddings, like big weddings lately? Oh my, just go for weddings, and you'll be asking yourself, are we in the same country? You'll be asking yourself, am I
how are these people making this money? How are these people making this money? Everything, it's been upward, like everything. The inflation in Nigeria has been insane, and the insecurity, everything, banditry, everything is high.
You will talk to some person, like if you're having a conversation with someone, the person will be like, some persons that I've had conversations with, they were like, actually this regime is actually favoring them because they've made a lot of money, this regime.
Adoma, did you notice something else about this regime? Did you notice the level of taxation? Did you notice the level of taxation?
It goes on back to back.
In all the states, did you notice the level of taxation? Okay, thankfully so. They came up with cybersecurity taxation. And the uproar it was wisdom that came upon the president. And he said, okay, please, let's just suspend it. Let's understand what is going on.
Because we don't understand the meaning of that.
Who are you taxing? You are taxing people who are already groaning. You're taxing people who are already finding it difficult.
Cyber security levy. You want to tax me for the money in my... what are you taxing me for? And
honestly, tomorrow will be 29th of May.
And someone is somewhere thinking about how to bring back the old national... Is that supposed to be a conversation?
Like, I love my respect to that particular representative that stood up and said, he doesn't understand how new national anthem is going to solve the myriad of problems we have in Nigeria. We're talking about insecurity. Yesterday was Monday, all in the southeast. Nobody came out. And by Thursday right now, everybody's going to sit at home. We've not fixed insecurity.
The rate.
Look at everywhere pollution. I mean, we've not fixed these things.
And the rate insecurity, like
you're thinking about.
It's mad. It's in the insecurity right now in the southeast is
everywhere.
Is kidnapping
everywhere,
pickpocketing
everywhere. Or if it's only pickpocketing, it's on the lower scale now. Or it's on the lower scale. But a situation where you're going out, you are not sure, like, and it's not peculiar with a particular place.
Once the day is getting dark, you will be running to get home because you're not even sure of where. Why are you nodding your head?
I'm not nodding my head at our producer.
Okay.
So Adoma, we need to go now. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's really important that in all these things, let's find out ways to make ourselves happy, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your mental health is important. Whatever it is you do, your mental health, your health is important. It is when you are alive that you tell the stories. All right, so protect yourself and your mental health at all costs. My name is Chioma Vic Chukwemeka, also known as Oma Sweetheart on radio, TV, and social media.
Adoma is okay. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, tomorrow is our 1 year. Bye-bye.